on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life. Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You heard me. And y'all already know what's going down today, bruh. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off. Now cut. Okay. Cut and all that other good stuff. Oh, man, please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, and this here is Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. And how is everybody doing on this crisp fall Monday in the Richmond, VA? The schizophrenic weather continues here in Virginia. The high today is supposed to be 52. The high tomorrow is supposed to be 57. Wednesday is supposed to be 71. Thursday is supposed to be 75. And then drop down to 50 on Friday. What kind of, and I'm not trying to be the weatherman, but I'm like, damn. But anyway, energy not quite as much as it was last Monday. Because, I mean, y'all know I had a blast last Sunday. Not so much this Sunday, even though I have no quarrels with the Philadelphia Eagles, none whatsoever. I said last week that we could lose to Philly and I wouldn't give a damn. Well, be careful what you wish for, B, because you just might get it and you just got it. But anyway, before we get into the sports section of the show, if you will, I definitely got to show love, send out love to my Springer fam, to my Springer fam, to my black and gold fam, and really just my people in general. And again, I just posted on the most recent love bomb. I love that. I think that is so cool, where so much energy and so much positive energy is being shown and being met. And I want everybody to have a beautiful and wonderful week. Enjoy the schizophrenic weather. But just also remember that global warming is real, folks, okay? But again, let's keep the positive energy. Let's keep the positive vibes going. And just always remember that sometimes in life, you are going to fall into some hard times. Sometimes life is not always going to be your friend. Trust me, I know from experience. But at the same time, you always have to keep a positive outlook on and maintain your faith, because sometimes, and I can tell you what has worked for me was restoring my faith and just, saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to try to figure this life thing out by myself. Jesus, please take the wheel, and I will indeed ride shotgun, and I have no problem with riding shotgun at all. And there are goals and there are plans in my life that are going to definitely be met, and that goes for any of us. Just keep the faith, keep a steady head on your shoulder. Remember, life is not always going to be your friend, but always keep a positive outlook. The hardest thing to do is to be around people who always have an energy about them that drains you, that can bring you down, because you figure, okay, things aren't going well in your life. Let's keep a positive outlook. Don't try to bring other people down. And, like I said, the best thing that I did was just take God by the hand and just listen to him say, yo, B, just follow me. I got you. Just be patient. I got you. Just wait for what I have in store for you. And that's everybody. Every individual person, God has something in store for you as an individual. You just have to believe that. You have to believe that. And almost like the Philadelphia 76ers, you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process. And it might not be when you want it to be, but it definitely will be on time. I promise you. I'm not trying to preach to anybody. That's not what I do. I'm the singer guy. I'm the podcast guy. I'm the sports guy. But you know what? When I talk about a testimony and what my father has done for me, my Lord and Savior has brought me through some dark times. He's brought me through some dark times, and he has just said, you know what, B, just trust in me, and it is going to be okay. And if you just trust in him, I promise you, it is going to be all right. So again, shout out to my Black and Gold fam. You hear me, Facebook? Do you hear me, podcast? I mean that positive message and sincerely from the bottom of your boy's heart. So now, with that being said, in regards to the sports, let's get to it. All right, and I be trying to have a positive message, you know what I'm saying? I be trying to do that. And trust, you see that, or if you watch this on Facebook, did you see that stuff next to my eyes? I swear to God, I got to get me some contacts. These particular glasses have really jacked me up. But anyway, on to the world of sports. Okay, NFL. We are now past the midway point in the NF of the L. And I'm going to tell you, football is crazy. Excellent. But you're starting to see some order be restored in the AFC, if you will. You really are. You're starting to see maybe a little bit what we thought in one aspect, but then here comes an old friend that is definitely establishing themselves and welcoming themselves back to the party. And I told you to watch out for these guys about 3-4 weeks ago. And so we go ahead and get started with the scores. We started off the week Thursday with an upset, like right off the bat, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins beat the Baltimore Ravens, and they really dominated the Ravens. They won by a score of 22-10. That's the lowest scoring output in the Lamar Jackson era. And it's like, wow, where did that come from? That came out of left field. But in this NFL season, a lot of stuff has come from out of left field that we truly did not expect. Now, in other scores, I'll get it out the way now. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles did defeat my Denver Broncos in Denver 30-13. And it was just, I could just tell by watching that game, you know, how, you know, we would move up and down the field, but then would not be able to, finish the deal with touchdowns enough. And then that play on fourth down where Melvin Gordon got to hold on to the ball. I mean, it was 20-13, last play of the third quarter. We're deep in Philadelphia territory, 4th and 1. We decided to go for it. I didn't have no problem with that at that point in time in the game. Melvin Gordon fumbles. And Darius Slay picks it up and goes 82 yards for a really impressive touchdown as well. Now, that was really the back-breaking play of the game. It would have been nice for my Broncos to win this game. That would have been 3 straight wins and go into the bye week 6-4. But as it is, we're 5-5. We're still in the picture. We're still in the playoff picture because the AFC is so nutty. But why my own mother, again, my mother come to me trying to talk shit. She gonna text me talking about some, who's beating your ass this week? I simply text her back, not Dallas. She said, well, but the Eagles, that's Sean's team. I said, I don't have a problem with losing to the Eagles. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is my second favorite team. I don't have a problem. Now, I don't like to lose, period, as a Denver Bronco fan, but I have mad love for the Eagles. So if you think I'm annoyed by that, no. But on to the other scores. Speaking of those Dallas Cowboys, I thought they would bounce back, and you never put any trust in the Atlanta Falcons. The Cowboys demolished them 43-3, and it shows that they have resolve as a team, which is definitely a good thing. Got some fantasy points out of them too. Next game, the Tennessee Titans against the New Orleans Saints. I mean, the Saints are missing Jameis Winston, and I say that because Trevor Siemian has played just good enough to lose these past 2 weeks, and the Saints have blown golden opportunities. Okay, they should be sitting pretty right now in first place in the NFC South. And meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans, remember, we were all dismissing them once Derrick Henry was injured. We said, oh, he's gone for the rest of the season? Titans are about to fold up and flop. But what does good coaching do for you? What does a good culture do for you? Mike Vrabel, has this Tennessee Titans team looking like the version of the New England Patriots that he played on that won 3 Super Bowls. They're just well coached. I just still can't believe in Ryan Tannehill. I can't like if Tennessee is going to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, that's one of them things where I'm going to have to see it to believe it, because I just can't trust Ryan Tannehill, but they're 8-2. The best record in the AFC. Matter of fact, now tied for the best record in the NFL. Next game, the Indianapolis Colts. They defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-17. I told you guys, look out for the Colts. I don't think they're winning the division, and particularly now that Tennessee is still winning, but they're 5-5. They have it coming together. And the next game, the Browns and the Patriots, was seen as a marquee matchup for this week's games. The Patriots absolutely destroyed Cleveland. What y'all gonna do, Cleveland? Because you can't blame this one on Odell Beckham. He ain't there no more. And Baker Mayfield may be banged up, but if you can step on the football field, you need to do a lot better than that. I mean, I said watch out. I said this 4 weeks ago. I said watch out for the Patriots. I said watch out for the New England Patriots, because it looks like they are about to roll. And I saw them play the Jets, and I understand it's the Jets, but I saw a confidence about that team and that offense, and I saw them starting to take the training wheels off of Mac Jones, and Belichick has that defense rolling. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. They're now 6-4. I believe, what is that? They've won 4 straight, 5 straight. They are very dangerous. I said at the beginning of the season, I could not summarily hand this division to the Buffalo Bills, because I thought the Patriots and the Dolphins would both be better. Miami has been a disappointment thus far, although I will say this: watch out for the Dolphins. I'm not trying to be funny. Watch the Dolphins over the next 4 weeks, because their schedule can be very favorable, and they maybe can make a run out of this thing. They've already won two straight games. I know they're just 3-7, but watch out for the Dolphins. Their next game is against the New York Jets. Then they play the Panthers. That'll definitely be interesting. Then they play the Giants. Then they play the Jets again. Watch out for Miami. So the AFC East is going to get interesting to me more late than early, because that division, Buffalo, that's not a slam dunk for Buffalo. They're only a half a game up, because the Patriots are rolling. The Bills, they handled their business yesterday too, winning 45-17 over the aforementioned New York Jets. The Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Saturday, we learned that Ben Roethlisberger had to be placed on the reserve COVID list, so we knew that he was not going to play. Enter Mason Rudolph. I have a question. Why the hell is Mason Rudolph still on an NFL roster? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, this dude is trash, and to me, that is really an indictment on Dwayne Haskins. I'm like, dude, you can't outplay him? Like, really? So, what was the end result of the Lions-Pittsburgh Steelers game? A tie. 16-16. My Uncle Tuck, he hit me up. He said, damn, Steelers. I said, well, you didn't lose to them. I mean, that's really true. You didn't lose to them. You just didn't beat them. I mean, which is kind of like, okay. 16-16 was a very ugly game. But, I mean, like, you can't even, Mike Tomlin, you are such a great coach. Why the hell do you still have this guy on your roster? Anyway, on to the upset of the day. The Washington football team beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-19, and Tampa was just coming off of a bye week. And so I know this surprised everybody, and I guess a little bit of revenge for Washington from last year's wild card playoff round. Same scene as it was when they played in the playoffs. To be honest with you, Washington just simply out-physical Tampa. I know no AB and no Gronk, but still, I mean, you figure Evans and Godwin and Howard and Brady and Rojo and Fournette, that should be enough, right, to be Washington? I mean, Washington's defense has been bad all season. It's been the exact opposite of what we all thought it would be. Chase Young, you fear that he might have a torn ACL. He left early in the game, and Washington just simply dominated up front against Tampa Bay. Taylor Heineke played very good football, very good situational football, and Brady threw 2 more picks. What? Not Tommy fucking terrific throwing more interceptions. No. that's why I said the New Orleans Saints have blown a golden opportunity, because not only did they beat Tampa on Halloween, they owned the tiebreaker and just beating the Titans. And I understand when they lost last week to the Falcons and then losing to the Titans, which is, nothing to be ashamed of. The Titans are a great football team, but losing to the Falcons, you should be sitting in first place right now, because Tampa, once again, I'm going to say this, and I know injury plays a factor in everybody's team for every season, always in football, but the whole notion of, see Tampa Bay bringing back all 22 of their starters was overrated and overblown for me, because to me, Tampa's defense last year wasn't really that good. They just got hot at the correct time. They got hot at the end of the season, which good for them. Kudos for them. It carried them to a Super Bowl championship. But what we're seeing is really what they are.
You niggas are crazy!
I understand some injuries happen. That happens to everybody. But what you're seeing from Tampa Bay, everybody wanted to say, hey, Tampa might go undefeated. No, I never bought into that 1 second. Now, they may find a way to give Brady MVP. I do believe if Tampa finishes with the best record, or possibly the second best record in the NFC, that they'll find a way to give Brady the MVP. But to be honest with you, he's not playing like it. He may indeed set the single season record for most touchdown passes in the season. We have an extra game this year. This is a passing league, and the system is set up to protect the quarterback now more than ever. So that's all I'm going to say. Tampa Bay is 6-3. They're in good position. They're in good position. They're going to be in the playoffs. But what you're honestly seeing is what Tampa Bay is. They were an opportunistic defense. They're not a dominant defense. Like everybody bought into the Kool-Aid because of what they did in the postseason, and of course they're the defending Super Bowl champions. But there's nothing. They're not a dominant all-around defense. There are defenses that are better than Tampa Bay's defense. And Washington they gut punched them. And the next game to me was the moment of the day. If you listen to the last show that I did on Thursday, I led off with talking about how the Carolina Panthers brought back Cam Newton. Now, I did not think that they would win against the Arizona Cardinals, but then right before kickoff, you find out no Kyler Murray, no DeAndre Hopkins, and I didn't even think Cam would play. I knew they would start P.J. Walker, and Carolina dominated, because not only did Cam play, he didn't start, but not only did he play, he was responsible for 2 touchdowns. His first play getting in the game at the goal line, running in for a touchdown, taking his helmet and screaming, "I'm back." I ain't gonna lie, that shit gave me goosebumps, because I can just imagine what this man has been through over the past couple of months, honestly over the past couple of years, dealing with the injuries and having Carolina release him, then going to New England and then catching COVID and everybody saying you're done, and then getting released by the Patriots, beaten out by a rookie, Mac Jones, and sitting on your couch. Like he said yesterday at the press conference, this time last week, I was eating cereal. And when they got the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after, when he took his helmet off and was screaming, "I'm back," I don't think anybody on that Carolina sideline gave 2 shits. I don't think anybody gave a damn, because what I saw from that Carolina team was a jolt of energy and excitement that team hasn't had all season long, even when Sam Darnold was playing well. And I'm going to tell you this right now, P.J. Walker played pretty good. Cam will probably be starting next week at quarterback. And to be honest with you, now if you look at the playoff standings, Carolina now has the last playoff spot right now. It's not unreasonable to say the Panthers could make the playoffs with Cam Newton as their quarterback. Now, what does that do for them going forward in the future? I would worry about that once the season is over. But to be real with you as well, this is not a strong quarterback class that's coming out of college this year. If Cam comes back and takes you to the playoffs with that defense, you have good skill position players as well in Carolina. Why not just sign him to about a 2 or 3 year deal and just let him finish out his career? Because one thing that Cam can do is take some of that pressure off of Christian McCaffrey, who, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, over the last 2 years has become injury prone because of the workload that you try to put on that guy. Him and Cam can split that And again, I like PJ Walker, but you're not going to bring in Cam Newton and think that Cam Newton is going to stay there being the backup. Not for that franchise. He's the greatest player in the history of that franchise. There's no way in hell he's going to be a backup. And like I said, to see him get in there, run the touchdown pass, scream I'm back, and come in and throw for a touchdown pass, that shit gave me goosebumps. And the Panthers rolled 34-10. Again, no Kyler Murray, no DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not pressing any concern buttons with the Arizona Cardinals. They're still, if not the best, one of the 3 best in the NFC. Next game, Minnesota Vikings, the most Jekyll and Hyde football team in the NFL. They go to Los Angeles and beat the Chargers 27-20. Newsflash, the Chargers ain't who we thought they was going to be. They're 5-4 right now, but they are not who we thought they were going to be. It seems like Justin Herbert may need another year before we really want to put him, at least that team, into the category of contender. The Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers' lion ass gets off the COVID, so he's back on the football field, and that is good for him because nobody want him not to be healthy. We just don't want you to act like a lying little bitch. Russell Wilson played for the first time in a month. Russell Wilson had a bad game. Seahawks didn't score a point. Aaron Rodgers didn't throw for a touchdown pass. Green Bay has a very good defense. The Packers win 17-0. They are 8-2. They are now the number 1 seed in the NFC. You may want to watch out for them. And in the Sunday night game, the Kansas City Chiefs might have just put the rest of the NFL world on notice. All right, we've woken up. All right, we back. We're up. We're stretched out. Got all our kinks worked out. They beat the hell out the Raiders 41-14. And if that's the case, if the Chiefs indeed are back, yikes and some more shit. Because they looked fantastic, and we had the Raiders winning the game. Because Kansas City hasn't looked right all year. We're going to see if they're right, because their next game is against Dallas. So we'll get a chance to see if they indeed are back. But what they are right now is back in first place for the first time all season, in first place in the AFC West, in first place all by themselves. Bye, bitch. In the AFC West. And tonight's Monday Night Football game between the Rams and 49ers will be the debut of Odell Beckham Jr., who signed with the Los Angeles Rams. Now, of course, this news broke, after I would do the podcast on Thursday. And initially, I did not like the move. I'm not going to lie, I did not like the move at all. I didn't like it for Odell because I was like, geez, the Rams are already stacked at receiver, and they go through Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. Well, Friday, Robert Woods tore his ACL in practice. So now I kind of like the move because you needed him. I mean, to be honest with you, not because you need him now. So, and it's funny because one of my homeboys, Marquise, hit me up on the fantasy tip and was like, hey, you want to trade Odell Beckham? Nope. No, sir. I mean, why the hell would I want to do that? Because he about to, hopefully, hopefully he stays healthy. He about to take off. Nah, bruh. Nah, I ain't giving up. I'm not giving up Odell Beckham on the fantasy tip. Nah, bruh. But again, I think the Rams will win tonight, which would tie them if they win, because the NFL, this has been crazy. The 49ers actually have had their number, but the 49ers don't know how to win at home. For whatever reason, the 49ers don't know how to win at home. And again, once again, I'm going to tell you, that seat is going to get super duper duper hot for Kyle Shanahan. And of course, on a wonderful Monday in this NFL season, I got my dog with me. Got my dog right here. Tony, what's up, sir?
Yo, what's going on? And it is a wonderful Monday.
It is a very wonderful Monday. I see you guys bounce back. But so what are your thoughts? What was your takeaway from this past weekend in football?
Not a lot. Because there are certain things that the talking heads will key in on, but I don't take much from it because of certain things like the Cam. For instance, Cam's performance, Cam being present, team clearly was energized behind him, but there was no Kyler Murray. Green Bay beating Seahawks. Well, we know the Seahawks D is kind of anyway, and we don't know how that cold with Russ's finger played a part.
Because the Seahawks defense actually played good for like 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, they did. I don't take much from the Kansas City thing. Oh, they're back. They're in first place. Well, that's kind of a testament to maybe the overratedness of that division, and that some people have come back to the pack versus Kansas City, now being old Kansas City. They played well. I mean, but, it is what it is. So, the Patriots are, in fact, for real. We agreed on that.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I told you about a month ago to watch out for them. Watch out for the Colts too.
Yeah, it's that's all I can really take from it. There's a lot of I don't think any questions were really answered. I don't think any questions were really answered.
Well, in regards to Kansas City, I said we'll see how back Kansas City really is with their game next week. They play you guys. That's going to be a big test. The way with you guys' performance against the Falcons didn't really impress me because I don't trust the Falcons. But what it did show me as far as your team goes is that you do have resolve, and that is a very good thing. I mean, y'all got embarrassed last week, and then y'all came back and did even more an embarrassing job on Atlanta. So I mean, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. As far as the AFC goes, what I'm taking away is coaching matters. Particularly in the AFC. You see it with the Titans, why they still have not lost since Derrick Henry has gotten hurt. New England, Belichick speaks for itself. Like I said, we'll see with Kansas City. And as far as Pittsburgh goes, I just don't understand. Like, why is Mason Rudolph still on an active roster? You tied with Detroit.
And I'm sitting here watching that game yesterday. I'm sitting here saying, this is going to be the week that I lost faith in the Lions, and they go ahead and pull it out.
Right. I was saying the same thing. But to me, that's an indictment on Dwayne Haskins. I'm like, dude, you can't outplay this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is, but it seems, and I'm gonna say the Baltimore-Miami thing was Miami showed up to play. I don't think that was an anomaly. Miami showed up to play. They had a plan, but who wants the AFC North?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Watch the Dolphins. I know they're 3-7. Watch the Dolphins. Their schedule is very favorable. Within the next 4 weeks, they play the Jets twice, the Giants, and the Panthers. Pay attention to them. Now, the Panthers game, I think, is interesting because now that's another team that I think that you should watch. Because, the thing with Cam gave me goosebumps. But I also know, and I also said this. I said this when I did the show on Thursday when he first signed with the Panthers. I said I didn't even expect him to play yesterday. I said, but I fully expect him to start the next game against Washington, and that's what all the reports are. They're already prepping Cam to start against Washington. I didn't expect him to play. That gave them a jolt to energy that they haven't had all year. But right now they're actually in the 7th spot. They have the last wild card spot with that defense, and now you can, if Cam is the quarterback, you can kind of take some of that pressure off of McCaffrey in regards of ball handling. I mean, they could legitimately make the playoffs.
Yeah, but there's a lot of teams in that same area as far as standings, and like Philly, they got a cupcake. You read my mind because I was just getting ready to say, as quiet as it's kept, Philly is only 1 game out of the wild card. And when you said to me last week, I'll pick Philly, and I said they probably will beat us because I looked at the way that they've been playing football over the last 3-4 weeks. Really, ever since that just press conference that Sirianni did where he was talking about seeds and dirt and roots and growing plants. Look, it made sense to them, apparently. And that's what's really important. It made sense to them because they've been playing really good football. It didn't surprise me at all what happened yesterday.
And like I said, quiet as it's kept, they're only a game out. So it's going to be interesting. Well, we already know the 5 teams from the NFC that is definitely going to go, even though, what did you think about Tampa Bay yesterday?
I take nothing from that because no AB, no Gronk, the guy wouldn't even play.
Yeah, he played.
I take nothing from that. That was an anomaly. Brady doesn't normally do that. So, and Heineke doesn't normally do that. So, and they lost Chase Young. So, I really don't expect Washington to continue trending upward. I mean, they'll win some games, but I don't think that told us anything about Tampa Bay.
Well, they didn't tell me anything about Washington outside of the fact that that was the best that their defense played all year. But in the end result is, you lost Chase Young for the rest of the season. But what I said about Tampa Bay earlier was everybody got on the train of, hey, they're bringing back all 22 starters. They were never, and they tried to paint their defense out to be this dominant group. And it's not. It wasn't last year. They got hot at the right time. We've had this conversation before. So now it surprised me, yes, they lost to Washington, particularly coming off of a bye week, following another loss to the Saints. But and as far as the Saints goes, they should be kicking themselves because they should be sitting pretty in first place right now. Yeah, they should be sitting pretty right now. But Tampa this is honestly, like, I know no Gronk, no AB, but Evans, Godwin, O.J. Howard, Brait, Rojo, Fournette, that should have been enough to beat Washington.
It should have been, but, come on now. They laid a couple stinkers last year. They're going to lay a couple stinkers. They're a playoff team, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, they're definitely a playoff team.
As Bill Parcells, you want to get into the tournament. If they get into the tournament, I wouldn't necessarily call them the favorite no more than I would call the Rams or the Packers the favorite. Right now, there is no favorite.
Right, I agree with you 100%. And if there was going to be a quote unquote favorite, I guess the most you could do is look star power, look at the Rams. But it's been so nutty this year. Like, I agree with you 100%. There's no favorite, especially coming out the AFC. But now look at it. Tennessee now. Look, Tennessee now has the best record in the league. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. There's no, in either conference, there's no definitive team that you could say, okay, I expect to see them in the Super Bowl unless you just being a homer.
Right.
I think it's going to come down to a lot of variables, and those variables may very well be that home field, may very well be the weather conditions. I think that any team in both conferences, all the people that are 1 through 7 could potentially beat each other.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would not be surprised to see the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But still, the Bills, man. I understand the Patriots are hot right now and they're well coached, but at some point, talent. And I think the Bills still got them.
Well, there's no question the Bills have more talent. It's just, I don't know. With me, it's almost a gut feeling because this looks like those early 2000 Patriots team. Their defense is smoking. Their offense is efficient. They're taking the training wheels off of Mac Jones. There's no huge name on offense for the Patriots, but they have a solid running game. Mac Jones is, like I said, it was no accident that Bill Belichick got him. Like I said, I'm not predicting it. It just wouldn't surprise me because the formula is there. And now on the contrast, what do you think about Cleveland? Can't put this on Odell.
Nah, I think that Cleveland, I think that division as a whole, again, the Baltimore thing, I'll put as a one-off and say they're probably the front runner as far as consistency in that division, but Cleveland is falling apart at the seams. It's falling apart at the seams. It started with a little rash of injuries, but now it's just bad play.
Yeah, and I think the only crutch that Baker has to stand on is that he's been hurt probably since week 3. But they clearly don't trust him.
They're going to get ran out the building. They're going to get ran out the building. Like, it doesn't matter who they match up with in the playoffs. They're going to get ran out the building.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs at this point.
You know?
No. Honestly. At this, because like I said, the Patriots are ascending. Like I said, you have to pay attention to the Colts. The Chargers have the tiebreaker with them. You know, so even and right now they have a better record. Like Cleveland is last right now in that division. Even though they're a 500 team, they're like us. They're a 500 team, but they're dead last in their division because of the amount of wins that every other team has. But when I look at the wild card, you got the Steelers, they've beat them. The Chargers, they've beat them. The Colts are ascending. The Patriots are ascending. This might sound crazy. Pay attention to the Dolphins. You still have the Raiders have a better record. You know, so honestly, at this point, I don't even see them making the playoffs.
I don't, but to be fair, you listed the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders are all that different than Cleveland.
Well, I don't either. Remember, I said this all season. I don't trust the Raiders past Thanksgiving. And right now, they're giving me reason not to trust them before Thanksgiving.
And we played them on Thanksgiving.
I know this.
There's that.
I know. So, anyway, let's get with these. Let's make these calls for next week. The first Thursday night game are those red hot Patriots going against the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. Yeah, Patriots.
It's in Atlanta, but I'm still gonna say Patriots because, like I said, they're hot. and they can. And Belichick is smelling that division. He's getting that taste back. Like I said, I'm not saying that they're gonna win it, but they getting that taste back. They're just a half game up. You win this game, now you put the pressure on Buffalo. Like, you got to keep winning. And speaking of Buffalo, they play a big game. They play at home against the Colts. Who you got?
I'm gonna take the Bills because they're at home. I'm gonna take the Bills. I think I would take the Bills irregardless, but I think it would be a better game in Indianapolis. I just don't see them losing in Buffalo.
That Colts defense is real, but I'm gonna take the Bills because they have to win. They're gonna have to win because if they're not, they're gonna find themselves out of first place. Next game, the Ravens at the Bears.
Ravens.
Yeah, I agree. I think the extra 3 days off from the Thursday night game they needed it. That little mini bye, they needed it. I'm going to go with the Ravens. Your Lions at the Browns. No.
Yeah, I'm considering it, bro. I'm considering it. They fought yesterday for what it's worth.
No.
For what it's worth. And if any game they could win, this would be the one because Browns is falling apart at the seams.
Go ahead. Put your money where your mouth is.
I'm gonna take them Lions.
I'm taking the Browns, and for one reason and one reason only. Nick Chubb is coming back. He'll be back. He didn't play yesterday. But I agree. The things are unraveling in Cleveland, at least for the season. Not that bad, though. Next game, the Texans versus the Titans.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take the second T team.
Oh, you're going to take the Titans?
Yeah.
You know what? I honestly believe that the Titans should be on upset alert for whatever reason. I mean, because Tyrod Taylor is back at quarterback for Houston. I'm not going to be that stupid to call the Texans to win. But the Titans should be on upset alert. But I'm still going to go with Tennessee. Next game, Packers at Vikings. Ain't the Vikings the most Jekyll and Hyde team in the league?
They are. Wow. I'm gonna take the Vikings in that one. I'm gonna take the Vikings as a karma thing against Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Ooh, I want to ride with you on that. I really do. I do.
Dalvin Cook is due for a 160-yard game. Maybe this week is it.
I just want to hear the Minnesota crowd chant in unison to Aaron Rodgers, "You're a liar."
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. Because Kirk Cousins stood on what he believed in. God, I want to ride with you on that. But for competition purposes, I'm going to go with Green Bay. But God, I'm not trying to be funny. I really want to ride with you on that. Because that would be poetic justice. So you may be right, though.
Again, I think that they could pluck him this week. They had a decent backup running back, but he's not Aaron Jones. So
That's right. I forgot Aaron Jones is hurt. Damn, that's right. Damn. But I think AJ Dillon will be serviceable enough. But we'll see. Like I said, you could be right. I won't even be mad if you're right. I won't be mad at all. Next game, Dolphins at Jets.
Dolphins.
Ditto. Watch the Dolphins. Watch them. Next game, Saints at Eagles. This is actually a surprisingly big game.
I'm gonna say the Saints D is gonna get to Hurts enough because the Saints feel like they're a playoff team. Well, then you should beat the Eagles. I feel like the Saints defense is enough to slow down Hurts.
Damn, that doesn't say much about us. He said if the Saints feel they're a playoff team, they should beat the Eagles.
Well, I think the Fangio blueprint. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he didn't have a blueprint against the Eagles.
Maybe not. I'm gonna go with the Saints just because whenever this is like one of those seasons where if you have any type of expectations for the Eagles, they'll lay a clunker, even at home. I think the Saints defense will be enough. But Trevor Siemian's going to have to start playing 4 quarters of football. You can't get hot at the end. It's not going to work because that's what's happened the last 2 games. He the first 3 quarters he's looked horrible. And then the 4th quarter he gets hot. He gets red hot. But by that time you're down by 16 points and too little too late. But I'm going to go with the Saints. Next game, this is interesting. Washington at Carolina. Cam versus Rivera.
I think the loss of Chase Young and the Cam appearance. I mean, Washington's not going to do it 2 weeks in a row. So I'm taking the Panthers in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers too. I think they're going to ride that wave. I mean, I think right now they're on an emotional high. Just imagine what that, particularly in that building. It's in Carolina. Think about what that atmosphere is going to be like with the greatest player in franchise history returning back at under center. The Redskins. Yeah. Not the Redskins. Washington. I'm not going to say they might get blown out just because of the familiarity with Rivera with Cam Newton's game. But that atmosphere is going to be electric. No way the Panthers lose this game. That's gonna be a college-like atmosphere. They are going to be crunk in Carolina this week. Next game, 49ers at Jacksonville.
I'm going to give the 49ers the benefit of the doubt and say that they should win this game. However, it would not surprise me if Jacksonville's defense stymies them.
That's how I feel. Because I'm damn near ready to pick Jacksonville. Because Jacksonville has actually played better. What you're getting, if you're Urban Meyer, if you can stomach the losing, you're actually getting what you want. Because your team is showing improvement week after week after week. And they damn near beat the Colts yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give the 49ers the benefit of the doubt because I'm telling you, after the night, Kyle Shanahan gonna continue to feel that seat getting warm. Next game, Bengals at Raiders. Boy, did we think differently of these teams 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Wow.
The Bengals were number 1 in the AFC 3 weeks ago.
You know what? But I'm going to go with the Bengals. I'm gonna go with just because they're the less dysfunctional. They're mirror images right now.
Pretty
but
much.
The Raiders just got way more dysfunction going on. So I'm gonna say, from a stability standpoint, the Bengals should win.
Ooh, this is tough because
their issues are purely on the field issue. The Raiders got on the field, off the field. So I'll take the Bengals with just on the field stuff.
you know what? I'm gonna disagree. Well, I like every point that you made because truly the Bengals issues are only football related. I just, this is another situation like Cleveland where the Raiders could be unraveling. But they got embarrassed last night at home by Kansas City. And gosh, I'm trying to convince myself to pick the Raiders, but it's kind of hard right now. I mean, because I know it's in Vegas, and they really, I think they really need to be on a positive vibe heading into their Thanksgiving game with you guys. I have no reason to pick the Raiders, but I'm going to pick the Raiders. I'm just going to leave it at that. I have no reason whatsoever to pick them. They probably will lose. I hope that they lose, but I'm going to pick them just because it's just, again, gut feeling. Cowboys at Chiefs. I know.
So barring weather conditions, but even with the weather conditions, we should run the ball. But my only concern about this game, I'm obviously picking my squad. Only concern I have about this game is pocket contained. They're gonna have to put Michael Parsons as the spy on Mahomes. Blitzing, but I think our offense is just too much for them. Our offense is too much, and our defense. Patrick Mahomes got away with one. He threw the touchdown, but he should have threw a pick too.
Yeah, when Darrell Williamson caught it. Yeah.
So if he does that against us, we gonna get some turnovers. Because as you say, opportunistic. So. And Mahomes gives you a lot of opportunities. Yeah, so I think you put a spy on him and you try to bracket Kelsey. Because Trayvon Diggs is good, but he ain't that good. He ain't no cornerback. Most cornerbacks in the league ain't guarding Kelsey one-on-one. So that would be a mistake because they got off Atlanta, found Pitts early. Yesterday it didn't last long, but they did find Pitts, a couple times, so you can see. But anyway, I pick us, even though KC's at home.
I'm gonna pick Kansas City because if they're back and I do this reluctantly because y'all offense is great, their defense is terrible. I'm gonna trust Andy Reid to be able to get in Patrick Mahomes' head and say, look, dude, this may be a track meet, but you don't have to hit the home run play every time. Because he got damn lucky with that. Everything else was very disciplined. That to me was his only errant throw. And his running back just made a great play. But the rest of that game, he was very disciplined. He took what the defense gave him, and the Chiefs are still faster than everybody else. They still are faster than everybody else. So, and again, y'all defense ain't really that good. You're opportunistic, which is nothing wrong with them. If Mahomes doesn't give you guys opportunities, then I believe they can win. Now, that's wishful thinking because this is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about. While he's great, he's going to give you guys about 4 opportunities. If he's not disciplined, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs more or less so coaching on this one. Because you guys have everything you need to beat them 48-41. but I'm gonna roll with KC. Next game, Cardinals.
Defense ain't nowhere near as bad as their defense, so I doubt it'd be 41. But our defense is nowhere near as bad as KC's.
No, they're not. And I'm saying 41, and I'm counting that on Patrick Mahomes playing disciplined football. Because honestly, and your one concern, pocket containment. Because if you can't contain them in the pocket, once again, they're still faster than everybody else. They are. Speed still kills. And if pocket containment is an issue, it's going to be a very entertaining game. Let's just say that. Because Dak is going to get his yards on that defense. That's for damn sure. Cardinals at Seahawks.
I'm going to say Russ was embarrassed, and yesterday was an anomaly. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
If Kyler Murray comes back and plays, now you got away with one against the 49ers. Not so much yesterday. You played an emotionally charged up team. Wrong place, wrong time, even though the game was in your building. If Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins play, I think the Cardinals put the nail in the Seahawks' coffin, to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Because it's just, I don't know. I had the Seahawks making the playoffs. I just didn't see the injury of Russell Wilson coming, but they're just, to be honest with you, they're just not really a good team. They're just not. Russell's a great player. They have great individual players. But in particular, that defense, which is Pete Carroll's specialty, is defense. It's not good. It's no good.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. But at the same time, these are division rivals.
That's true. That's true.
They
That's
know
true.
each other.
That's true.
Anything can and will happen in a division game.
That is true. That's very true.
I'm going to give Russ the benefit of the doubt and say he personally bounces back.
Well, hell, if they make a field goal, then he would personally bounce back from yesterday.
Oh, you don't carry him like that, though? No field goal.
I'm just saying, damn, you couldn't put up. Green Bay's defense is good, but it ain't the damn steel curtain defense. I understand weather played a factor too, but gee whiz. Now the Sunday night.
He didn't look right. He just didn't look right. There were opportunities for him to even run, and he didn't. Not sure what was going on, but
Well, maybe he's coming back. Maybe he's trying to force it. He's coming back too early, trying to make a playoff run, and it might not work anyway. I don't know. But the Sunday night game is the Steelers at SoFi to play the Chargers.
Chargers.
I agree. I think the Chargers will win that game. And next Monday night's game is the Giants at the Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Not 2 weeks in a row, but Bucks.
It would be 3 weeks in a row because they lost their last two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks too. I think the Giants. Let's see, what's in Tampa? Never mind. Yeah, Bucks. Bucks big. Let's see. And so what do you expect? What do you expect tonight from the Rams?
The same old Rams. Like it's gonna take Odell a minute to get adjusted, if he's ever going to get adjusted, because on paper the Cleveland with that lineup prior to them ever throwing a pass, you thought one thing. Stafford's different than Mayfield, but Stafford has been Stafford this year. He's been good in spots, really good in spots, but then Stafford always was good. The team around him wasn't good. So I don't know that this significantly changes the formula with them. Matter of fact, I think it hurts them more because of Woods was the continuity.
Yes. People don't give him enough credit.
So that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if the Rams. I don't think they'll lose, but it wouldn't surprise me if they played subpar tonight.
I think you're getting Von Miller tonight too, making his debut.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Rams played subpar tonight.
No, it wouldn't surprise me either.
it don't change nothing because they're having a good defense. Yeah, that's cool. That means all that really means is the Rams games will be like 16-13, type thing. I think Von Miller will have an impact and maybe more so in the playoff dynamic. But until he play it down, he's just a name added to the defense.
Yeah, I do. I think the Rams will struggle tonight. I think they'll win, but I do think that they will struggle tonight. As far the Odell thing, like I said, people don't give Robert Woods enough credit. This dude is a do-it-all receiver. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league because of his versatility. And there's still a receiver short because Odell was essentially replacing Deshaun Jackson. Now you lose Robert Woods. I mean, but we'll see.
That's the thing. I was reading a blog and they, yeah, we signed Odell just in time. Dude, Odell Beckham is not Robert Woods.
No.
At this point in their careers,
no, he's not.
They're two different guys. And yeah, Odell may recapture some, but he ain't been Odell in a long time. He ain't been that guy in a long time. So, good luck with that. But I'm pretty sure the Rams would much rather have Woods than Odell at this point.
Oh, definitely.
So.
I mean, he's familiar with the system. But one thing that's with Stafford, and while I like Stafford as a quarterback, but one thing that's gotten on my damn nerves, and I've heard this all season when it comes to talking heads, is Matthew. You'll have one person say Matthew Stafford's never won a playoff game, but then you'll say, but it was with Detroit. So what? I mean, that really gets on my nerves because there was a time period from 2011 to 2016 where Detroit went to the playoffs 3 times. So the fact that it's Detroit shouldn't give that's really irks me. The excuses that are made for Matthew Stafford why he hasn't won a damn playoff game. I could see if he went to the playoffs once in 12 years and it was a barely getting in by the skin of your teeth and you just happy to be there. But dude, man, he's played in 3 playoff games. And he's lost. And I think
when you look at that kind of thing, people, they don't want to break it down. And I'm sure if you go back and look at those 3 playoff games, Stafford did something or didn't do something that he could have done to potentially win that game. So, yeah, you could lay that blame at his feet. On those particular situations. Just saying, you're right. Just saying it was the Lions. Yeah, but they made the playoffs.
Yeah, and for 2 of those 3 games, you had prime Calvin Johnson. You had Calvin Johnson. You had Nate Burleson. The game where they played against y'all, that game that came down to the wire against y'all in 2014, they had Reggie Bush, and Reggie Bush had the best running season of his career. So it's not like they had and in particular that defense that had Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley. The Lions had the best D-line in football that year that they made it in 2014. So it's not like it was Matthew Stafford and then just a bunch of no-name scrubs that he carried to the playoffs. No, those were good teams. I mean, the notion of it was Detroit. People need to stop that because you don't go to the playoffs 3 times in a 5-year stretch with just awful talent around you.
Right. Yeah.
No, see, awful talent is what Jared Goff has around him right now.
Yeah, even Sewell is looking bad. I mean, he didn't start off the season looking bad, but he's looking bad now.
His best weapon is T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah. Even though the running back, he had a good day yesterday.
Which one, Swift?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they went away from him, but he had a good game yesterday.
I mean, when I say bad talent is what Jared Goff was around, Matthew Stafford was around a lot better talent.
Right, clearly.
Because I've watched many of Detroit games where Stafford screwed up at the end.
Right. Yeah. That's one of them things that Stafford, to be fair, no matter how his career shakes out, even if he, I think maybe it'd be different if he ultimately does win a Super Bowl, but if he does not win a Super Bowl, he'll have that same Romo Phillip Rivers. I don't know why people want to try to segregate and say these players are not alike, because they are. Statistically, they were monsters, but what do they have to show for it? Nothing.
Well, I've done this compare and contrast where people have said, yes, Phillip Rivers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm like, why? Really? I'm like, okay, if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, then Donovan McNabb should be in the Hall of Fame already. And I simply do compare and contrast. Phillip Rivers' first 4 years as a starter took the Chargers to the playoffs every year. And the next 11 seasons, he went to the playoffs 3 times. That's it. First 4 years as a starter, won the division every year, even went to the AFC Championship game in 2007. After that, from 2010 to 2020, from 2010 to 2020, the next 11 seasons, 3 playoff appearances. On contrast with McNabb lived in the NFC Championship game for a time period and even took his team to a Super Bowl. But he's not a Hall of Famer, and Phillip Rivers is, right? Okay. All I'm saying is, okay.
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, I don't know that. That's the age-old argument. Super Bowls versus non-Super Bowl winning players, quarterbacks. Do the rings equate to a trip to Canton automatically? Because there's a lot of people, like for instance, Phillip Rivers, and you can break down, say, Dan Marino's career versus Phillip Rivers. We know what Dan Marino did. Everybody knows what Dan Marino, but he ultimately did not get that ring. But there's no question that he's a Hall of Fame because his individual things. You have to, I guess you have to put Phillip Rivers under a microscope and say the early. The success his teams had, were they largely because of him, and the failures that his team had, were they largely because of him, to determine whether or not a guy is Hall of Fame. As far as statistics go, he's up there. A lot of them are, though. Because even Drew Bledsoe, statistically, he's up there. Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? In my mind, no, but statistically, he's right there.
But Drew Bledsoe rode Tom Brady to a ring.
I understand that. He got a ring, but he didn't get a ring.
No, I know. I'm being silly. He did get.
Clarence Tarkenton is in.
He did get them to the Super Bowl though, the year they won.
Is in. I mean, is Phillip Rivers better than Dan Fouts?
No.
You can make that. You can make
the case.
Though.
You could make the case.
You can make the case. So I don't know how to do it. I do feel like statistically, if you're up there and you won't call Phillip Rivers the Iron Man. He's not the Art Monk of quarterbacks, in terms of playing 20 years to compile his statistics. So,
like Brett Favre?
I do think, I think that you have to consider them guys legitimate for the Hall of Fame if you're taking players from the 50s. Because sometimes the Hall of Fame, they reach for a name, and there's some dude that played in an era that was all black and white. The TV was black and white. We may know him because of NFL films, but just in general, statistically, they're not even comparable to the modern guy. So I'm
not saying that Phillip Rivers shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm just saying is that how is everybody anointing him a first ballot Hall of Famer, but a player like Donovan McNabb, who accomplished way more, isn't even in the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame versus first ballot. No, neither one I believe are first ballot. But I do believe that McNabb should be considered heavily. He should be considered.
I agree. Now, quick off topic, because I gotta go in a couple minutes. Quality win yesterday by your Chicago Bulls against the Clippers, who had won 7 straight.
Yeah, but the Bulls are playing well, all things considered, being without Vucevic and, Patrick Williams being out, no Kobe White, which Kobe White might play tonight. But Donovan and AK's stubbornness on this small ball deal without adding quality size. Tony Bradley is not the answer at backup. Playing 6-7 guys at center against these bigger teams. The Clippers had scrub big men in yesterday, and we got just tore up on the boards. Now, fortunately, DeMar and Zach just outdid Paul George and nobody, because nobody else for the Clippers showed up scoring-wise. But tonight, that's going to kill us. That size is going to kill us.
Don't y'all play us
It's
tonight?
okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We got both of us coming off of back-to-back, but the size thing is going to kill us because you got three big men.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Bite your pride. There's a guy sitting out there doing absolutely nothing that would fit our system. The only question is, how healthy is he and how motivated is he? He would help as a backup and a longer, for the rest of the season, solution. And all you got to do is sign him to a 10-day contract just to see.
Who?
Boogie Cousins.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Boogie is out there. The Clippers.
Perfectly. He's good in the pick and pop. Can shoot the three, and he's a big body.
That's right. And the Clippers didn't bring him back.
No, they didn't. Sign him to a team chemistry. It's a 10-day deal, dude. You can get rid of him at any point in time. Just if it works out, sign him for the rest of the season. But he would help with that backup big situation, and he would fit our offense the way they try to run it through the high-low with the big man. Boogie can do that all day.
I feel so bad for him because injuries have really robbed his career. For real. You told he was arguably the best big man in the best big man in the league just 4 years ago. And golly, I feel bad for him. But yeah, he would fit what y'all do.
I feel bad for us because for whatever reason, they won't pick up the phone and make that call just to see what the dude got. And again, he doesn't have to be a starter. All he got to play is spot minutes. But he would be a good, he would provide us some size and help on them boards. Which is where we get killed. But we'll see what Caruso. I'm scared of him tonight.
Oh yeah.
I'm scared of Alex Caruso on that court tonight because he starts seeing them lights and getting full of himself and trying to do stuff that's not Caruso thing.
Oh yeah.
Turning that ball over.
Well, Russell Westbrook will match him turnover for turnover. That's for damn sure.
This is true, but no matter what happens tonight, I'm good because we started a murderer's row gauntlet, and we still got games to go. We still got the Nuggets, still got the Trailblazers, we got another meeting with the Knicks before we finally come back home. It was a 14-game stretch of all playoff teams. Right now, we're 5-3 against those playoff teams, so that's pretty damn good. To come from where we were last year, that's pretty damn good. So if we go 500 or better on this road trip, that's an accomplishment.
Absolutely. And yes, you guys look good. But all right, well, brother, I'm gonna get ready to hit the road. But I'm gonna hit you up. I'm probably gonna hit you up later on today. Yeah, man. Definitely. Once again, good talk. I didn't have to be so busy. You know how we start rapping. We get to rapping for a couple hours, but
on a lighter note, if you did not hear, and for those that are listening, I'm sure they may have picked up on it by the time you post this. So the lawyer in the Ahmaud Arbery murder trial stood up in the courtroom today and asked that Jesse Jackson be asked to leave.
He had an issue with Al Sharpton being there too.
But he was talking about multiple black pastors, and that was in terms of Al Sharpton being there. But only Jesse Jackson was there, and he stood up and asked the judge to ask Jesse Jackson to leave the courtroom to go observe the trial from some side room.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this off wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because they say it's intimidating. Get out of here.
It's intimidating the jury, but you can openly pick a 99.9% white jury.
Right.
Have the judge tell you, I know you're doing this, not picking black people, removing the key people because they're black, which is openly racist, but you think that the presence of a black minister, because he's well known, is influencing a jury. When you wanted a jury of bubbas, anyway, that's what you said openly. You wanted a jury of bubbas. That's what the defense attorney said.
Because they want to get these two dudes off for murder. Anyway, I'm gonna get back at you, big dog. All right, bro.
Easy.
Yes, sir. My man Tony, as always. I mean, and I will address the Ahmaud Arbery situation soon enough. But I mean, goodness gracious, these tactics that these lawyers for the defense attorney, the tactics that they're pulling is downright laughable. It really is. It's laughable. And the thing that gets on my nerves the most is that you're sitting here trying to find a reason to get these two murderers off, and the whole event is on tape. Like, everybody saw it. And it just, I don't know. It grinds my gears. It really rubs me the wrong way. But, you know, I'm gonna get Tony's further input into that. There are a couple of things that I want to add, that I want to ask Tony about the next time we talk. Yeah. Oh, because when you talk about that Ahmaud Arbery case, that really hits home for me. But before we conclude the sports portion and really the rest of the show, oh boy, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the event coming up on Saturday night. And the only reason why I'm kind of stalling out is because I'm just waiting for this music to kind of finish up, and then I will get into, I have a specific track designated for when I talk about this specific subject. Anybody who follows the show should know where I'm going with this. Well, I mean, but then again, you might not, because I don't get a chance often to talk about this, but I talked about this specific sports subject last week. Now it's a different event, Saturday night, and if I'm talking Saturday night, you guys should know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. And of course, what I am talking about is the possible fight of the year that will be Saturday night in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the welterweight championship of the world between, pound for pound, arguably the best in the business. I think he is pound for pound the best in the business. Terrence Bud Crawford against Showtime Sean Porter. Now, I am amped about this fight. Now, I did not order the Canelo fight that happened last weekend against Caleb Plant. I did see it, didn't order it. But the reason why I didn't order it is because, for one, I won't give a damn cable service provider all that damn money for a month. And this was the fight that I wanted to see more. And again, Terrence Bud Crawford, arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. In my view, he is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. It's not Canelo in my book. Going up against Sean Porter, who leaves it in the ring every time that he fights. And this is going to be a damn good fight, because Sean Porter is going to be so physical, and Terrence Crawford is literally going to have to fight him off. And Bud Crawford got that mean streak about him. You know, that's why I rock with him. And I rock with Sean Porter because while he does, you know, he does rough you up, you know, he's a very physical fighter, but he leaves it out there. All of Sean Porter's fights are entertaining. And these are truly two of the best welterweights in the world fighting each other. Terrence Crawford, of course, is the favorite. I would not be surprised to see an upset. And the only reason why I say that is because, again, all of Sean Porter's fights are good. They're all entertaining. He pushes his opponents to the brink. He's a two-time welterweight champion. Now, granted, in his biggest fights, he has lost. His biggest fight against Errol Spence 2 years ago, he lost narrowly. He lost by a split decision. And a lot of that was because he got knocked down in the 12th round in what was an absolutely fabulous, great fight. And that is what I'm expecting this week. A great fight. And again, let's see, Sean Porter also lost to Keith Thurman, but he beat Danny Garcia. He's beaten Adrian Broner. You know, he deserves to be at the top of the division. And now, of course, what the boxing public wants to see, as a boxing fan, of course, we all want to see Sean Porter. Excuse me, we all want to see Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. We do. Now, the one thing I could say about Terrence Crawford is it ain't him who don't want to fight Errol Spence. And Errol Spence has kind of had the injury bug the last 2 years with the car crash, which thank you God he recovered from. But remember, he was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao a couple months ago, not Ugas, but then he suffered an injury to his eye. And again, we hope for a speedy recovery. But dude, clock's ticking with this Terrence Crawford-Errol Spence fight. You know why? Because of fights like this Saturday night. Sean Porter is very capable of beating Terrence Crawford. Very much so. Terrence Crawford, he's undefeated. Like I said, Bud, mean streak. And I cannot wait. Now, and other news to boxing, have you guys heard about the fight in December on the undercard of, I guess, the next Jake Paul fight is former athletes, former football and basketball player Darren Williams and Frank Gore fighting each other, making their professional boxing debut. You know, to me, this is an even fight because you have two novice when it comes to professional boxing. But these athletes better learn that you don't play boxing, man. You don't play boxing. And I'm not going to order that neither, but I think that'll definitely be interesting. But yes, I cannot wait. Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, welterweight championship on the line. And yes, let's get it. Y'all know I'd be so fucking amped when it be fight night. You know, I'm actually surprised that I didn't talk about this more on today's episode. But you know, it is what it is. And with that being said, where the buzzer. Oh man, okay. You know, next week which is the week of Thanksgiving, next week will be 3 years of Sports Plus Life. How about that? 3 years and still doing this, you know, still doing this. And again, I'll say this, like I said, at episode 50, episode 100, episode 150, which was just a couple weeks ago. I do this because I want to and I love it. I don't care about views. I do this because I like to talk. I like to vent. And this is sweet. But yes, next year is 3 effing years of Sports Plus Life. And I'm just blessed. That's all I can say. I'm blessed. Like I said earlier, you know, so many people are stressed so much and they stress so much, put so much pressure on themselves, or just in general, just have an attitude that's just kind of like, really? And all the while, you know, they're so blessed, so many blessings. You know, they're just too blessed to stress, you know, honestly. And like I said, I have been through it. And me letting God take control of my life was the best thing that I could have done, because you know, I got blessings on blessings and they not stopping yet. You feel me? And you know, one reason why they not stopping is because I'm not stopping. You know, the thing about having blessings in your life and making the best of your life is you got to put in the work too. You know, you just can't say, Lord, bless me now, and it's going to happen. No, that is a genie. That is make believe, you know, but God got you, but you still have to put in the work. And that sometimes it's hard for some people to understand. But, you know, coming from the place, you know, like I said, I was in a dark place a couple years ago. And even while doing this show, there was some times where I was in a dark place. And the Lord has just taken me and he has just said, B, I got you. Just follow me and trust the process. And I got you, dude. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week. Please don't forget to hit that subscription button for Sports Plus Life and become part of the Sports Plus Life family, as well as check out my Brevon Towns YouTube page, same page. I do DJ mix that I put on there. I put one on there yesterday. It's called This Ish Slaps. You know, just, you know, I don't do it for no monetary gain. Honestly, I make these DJ mixes so when I'm at work and, you know, when I'm delivering, I could just have something to listen to, and it's a long playlist, but I think people will enjoy them as well. But it's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. I'm out this bitch. Peace. Love you guys.